So Kanye posted on his Twitter about who was better, I guess. It was who was better or which person. Guns N' Roses or Nirvana. And what sucks is that I thought about it and I would normally go straight to Nirvana because that's what I grew up with.
It's a tough one.
That's what I like. At the same time, dude, Guns N' Roses in their prime were
and what is
so good.
What is let's get specific.
And they
here.
both changed music.
What was the actual like crux of the statement? Was it who's more iconic? Who was a better band?
Iconic would be Nirvana in my opinion because they actually changed music.
Yeah. They definitely were a new wave coming in. But Guns N' Roses also like legendary in their own way.
Not Buckethead's Guns N' Roses, but Guns N' Roses, Guns N' Roses.
Appetite
my
for
God.
Destruction.
They were insane.
Which is like still one of the greatest.
They were like on Queen, like a Queen level.
Yeah, so ways up.
Time.
Okay, who's better out of Guns N' Roses?
Yeah, but are they talking? Yeah, but see, I think they frame it bad because you're thinking individuals, but I think it's ways up. Who's better out of Guns N' Roses or Nirvana, meaning them as a whole? But it can also be interpreted as like, are we talking about Kurt Cobain or are we talking about Slash?
I think it's more.
Or the drummers.
For the sake of the argument, let's say as a whole. I think as a whole, Nirvana. 100%.
Oh, so it is. Yeah. Has asked fans to pick their favorites between two of the rock's music heavyweight, Guns N' Roses and Nirvana.
Guns N' Roses, man, Appetite for Destruction is just such an amazing, iconic album. It's so good, and their Fall from Grace was also very legendary. Like Guns N' Roses' Fall from Grace was almost comedic. It sucked because they were a good band, but Axl was just so out of his mind.
What a douchebag.
Egomaniac. And
he's still crazy.
And Nirvana was so
fat.
Iconic because they were so bold and new at the time.
Yeah, and Kurt.
And Kurt obviously did what Kurt did, and it solidified them in kind of like rock and roll history. So my vote goes for Nirvana. Just because of the impact they made, and Guns N' Roses, they made a couple great albums. They had their time, but now Axl's kind of he's trying. They had the Chinese Democracy, which like was not a good album. And they had the Buckethead eras, like you said. And it's like Guns N' Roses' story's still happening, but I feel like Nirvana's better because their story's done, and it was what it was, and nothing can change it. Nirvana.
This guy actually makes a good point. He's like, that's not really how favorites work, my man. My man. I hate when people call me chief or my man. Or even bro. So I'm like, I ain't your bro.
Nirvana was revolution, but they couldn't have happened without Guns N' Roses. I don't know if that's necessary.
See, I don't agree with it either, but I see what he's saying.
Because Guns N' Roses was late 80s, early 90s. At the same, so it's kind of like they were, I guess, out during same time, but different. You can't say Guns N' Roses was a hair metal band. They were definitely post 80s rock. Yeah. I think.
No, I agree 100%.
As a guy that was born in 1992.
They're rock. Those guys are rock music.
Yeah, they were rock. It wasn't hair metal or nothing.
No. I do agree. Nirvana, for sure. Yeah. I got my Nirvana poster up there.
They were out at the same time, I assume, so.
No.
Nirvana, though. Just because they're Nirvana, man.
Green Day got me into music because it was so catchy and I was such an angsty kind of teen or young kid. But, like, that got me into Nirvana, Chili Peppers, 90s music, punk music.